Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a genuinely radical idea from our source material. We're looking at the premise that your life, your career, and even your personal growth aren't just some random series of chaotic events. Instead, they actually make up a highly strategic, completely hackable game. And the sources argue that if you really want to be a top-tier specialist of the future, mastering this internal game isn't just a fun luxury, it's an absolute requirement.
Look, we all know the feeling. So many of us are just completely caught up in the endless grind. We're hyper-focused on those material goals, right? Pushing for the next promotion, the next paycheck, but we keep hitting that exact same wall of burnout, or making the exact same career mistakes over and over. Well, the sources present a pretty powerful counter-strategy: strategic self-discovery. And they make it clear, this is not about running away from reality to go meditate on a mountain somewhere. It's actually a high-yield productivity strategy. It's about bypassing those invisible emotional blocks that are actively sabotaging your business, so you can unlock the absolute clarity you need for true, authentic success and real material stability.
Now you might be wondering, why should a modern, ambitious professional who is heavily focused on real-world results care at all about ancient self-discovery? Well, according to our source material, life's ultimate productivity hack isn't some brand new Silicon Valley framework. It's actually a 2,000-year-old system. And it was designed as a highly practical, cutting-edge tool to optimize human output. The text suggests that mastering yourself is, without a doubt, your ultimate competitive advantage.
So what is this system? Our sources call it the game of Leela, but they don't define it as some mystical relic or a basic board game. They brilliantly describe it as the original, periodic system of consciousness. It's presented as this meticulously designed psychological map of both the universe and the human psyche, and it organizes 72 primordial states of being into a highly structured framework. You can basically think of it as a massive, ancient dataset that early strategists used to navigate the insane complexities of being human.
As you'll see on the map here, the mechanics of these 72 squares are just incredibly profound. You've got arrows, and those represent leveling up in life. We're talking rapid career breakthroughs, highly effective decision-making, those amazing moments of peak performance. But then you have the snakes, and the snakes represent our hidden emotional blocks, things like imposter syndrome, or the self-sabotage that constantly pulls us backward into burnout and missed opportunities. The sources suggest this whole system essentially acts as an undeniable mirror of your actual day-to-day professional trajectory.
And hey, if you're sitting there thinking this sounds like a totally niche, fringe concept, well, the numbers tell a completely different story. 300 million. That is the massive number of practitioners worldwide who are already tapping into these ancient frameworks right now. They're using them to optimize their lives, find a baseline balance, and seriously elevate their daily performance.
So this isn't just theory anymore. The data gives us some undeniable social proof. In the US alone, tens of millions of people are actively integrating these exact practices into their daily executive routines. This adoption of ancient systems for mindful optimization and strategic growth is a massive, validated movement all over the globe. The most effective modern specialists are waking up to the fact that to conquer the huge demands of the external world, you absolutely have to map and conquer your internal world first.
What's really cool is how the source material translates these esoteric ancient terms into the exact tangible upgrades a modern professional needs. Take the root chakra, for example. In the game, being stuck here means you're dealing with basic survival anxiety, but conquering it, that means completely overcoming your financial fears and market anxiety. Moving up to successfully navigating the sacral chakra translates to smashing right through creative blocks and emotional volatility. And karma yoga? The texts explicitly state that selfless action develops extreme ownership and altruism, which are literally the fundamental qualities of elite modern leadership. This is pure strategic life optimization.
So how do you actually play? How do you navigate this map? Well, it all comes down to rolling the dice, which represents karma. And this ties perfectly into a concept heavily researched by the famous psychologist Carl Jung: synchronicity. The big, profound idea here is total accountability. In business or in life, there is no such thing as bad luck. Our hidden actions, our internal patterns, and our past choices completely dictate our real-world luck and our current position. Essentially, what you sow, you inevitably reap.
To make this actionable, the source material gives us a highly practical 3-step strategy for gameplay. Step 1 is recognizing your karmic loop, that cycle where you keep making the same fundamental errors, which is known as samsara. Step 2, use the game as a diagnostic mirror. Really observe your immediate reactions to where the dice land and which snakes you hit.
Ask yourself, are you blaming external factors for a massive business failure, or are you actually identifying your own internal block? And finally, step 3 is transcending that obstacle through radical self-awareness. This is what permanently stops you from repeating devastating mistakes in your business and your personal relationships.
Now here is where the sources reveal a massive, disruptive leap into the future. What exactly happens when you bridge a 2,000-year-old map of human consciousness with cutting-edge artificial intelligence? Well, you get the Leela Chakra AI. This isn't just taking a board game and putting it on a screen. The AI actually acts as a deeply analytical guru assistant. It guides you through the game's complexities and helps you decode your actual real-life friction points right from your smartphone.
For anyone trying to thrive as a modern specialist, this AI offers a truly unique competitive edge. First off, it's available 24/7 as an objective psychological co-pilot, so whenever you hit a wall, it's right there to analyze the friction. Second, it doesn't just rely on ancient texts, it's deeply grounded in the absolute latest psychology and neurosciences. Third, it rests on the profound foundational logic of Vedic culture. And lastly, it intelligently adapts to your specific communication style. It's essentially the ultimate, on-demand tool for maintaining emotional stability and driving calculated strategic growth.
So what is the ultimate ROI of all this internal optimization? According to the texts, the game ends only when the player fully penetrates its meaning, reaching cosmic consciousness. The sources argue that for the heavily driven modern professional, this translates to the ultimate payoff, true, lasting liberation from the rat race. We're talking about experiencing zero burnout and gaining absolute, unshakable clarity over the direction of your life. It's about evolving from just being a reactive piece on the board to becoming the active master of the game. All of this leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question to think about. Are you ready to consciously step up and play the ultimate game of life, or will you just continue to let the game play you? The sources strongly suggest that the tools for profound self-discovery and absolute productivity are literally right at your fingertips, perfectly bridging ancient wisdom with modern technology. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.